So that is why the business economics they are important. So this and where the finance minister as well as honorable prime minister they are focusing on, and they are focusing on creating human capital and intellectual capital. So these things are becoming important. So where I think that intellectual capital where through innovation it is possible, same time at the financial innovation is also taking place, and like digitalization. This is happening,
digital leadership.
and institutions are evolving. The existing business model may not work in future, so I have to adapt to the changes. So that is innovation basically. Constantly, it is a dynamic business is a dynamic game. So similarly, I have to make my plan, my capital structure, my finance plan. In this dynamic world, I have to reshuffle my portfolio. It is like that.
कितना पैसा है, कितना और चाहिए?
What are the sources?
Alright, hi everyone, welcome on board. In this video, we're going to talk about finance. ये finance क्या चीज़ है? Finance का link banking के साथ क्या है? Are you fit for doing an MBA in finance? हर बच्चा सोचता है स्टार्टिंग मेरे को भाई MBA in finance करनी है. और हमारे साथ आंसर्स देंगे आज डॉक्टर अरिंदम बांदोपाध्याय. Hi sir, welcome on board. It's a pleasure to have you on board.
Same here.
So today I'm here in NIBM Pune, which is an amazing school when it comes to the banking management. This school is more than 50-year-old. Or sir, along with the director staff and all the entire leadership, are helping corporates to grow. I'm not allowed to tell the names, but they are also helping some senior leadership in the senior banks also to grow, to channelize their policy level. Am I right, sir?
Yeah.
This is so amazing. Sir, let's go to the basics. Why MBA in finance? इसका आज भी relevance है कि नहीं है? And how does banking play the entire role in the finance sector?
So very interesting question, and I'm sure everybody should know about that. We are talking about growth, where the economy, how the economy is moving. Everybody is talking about the 5 trillion economy and this thing, but we need fuel for that. So growth is possible when there is enough fuel. So finance is important. That's why finance is important for personal finance management also. People should be aware of that. Maybe somebody is in a very good position and has a lot of aspiration, but at the same time, financial management is also personal financial management. Same way, when the organizations they contribute, whether it is a private or public, any entity is contributing to the growth. Even it's a small startup also, they require finance. It require proper business plan.
True.
And for that business plan, finance strengthen that business plan and make it actually get implemented.
True.
I may aspire something, a dream, but that dream can be materialized if there is a finance.
पैसा है तो
पैसा है. So that is why the business economics they are important. So this and where the finance minister as well as honorable prime minister they are focusing on, and they are focusing on creating human capital and intellectual capital. So these things are becoming important. So where I think that intellectual capital where through innovation it is possible, same time at the financial innovation is also taking place, and like digitalization. This is happening,
digital leadership.
and institutions are evolving. The existing business model may not work in future, so I have to adapt to the changes. So that is innovation basically. Constantly, it is a dynamic business is a dynamic game. So similarly, I have to make my plan, my capital structure, my finance plan. In this dynamic world, I have to reshuffle my portfolio. It is like that.
कितना पैसा है, कितना और चाहिए?
What are the sources?
What are the sources?
And how I can plan to optimally utilize this.
Right.
So I have to understand this. What are type of instruments I should focus on? What type of pricing? If I take some business decision, the valuation is important.
True.
So if I innovate a product, I have to commercialize that product also. Even if it is a public product also, I have to know its utilization. What will be the effective utilization? That way, finance is an important subject which is emerging, and everybody, it should be in all courses, it should be there.
True.
Both corporate finance as well as personal finance and wealth management. These are becoming very
मैं तो सर इनको बोलता हूँ मार्केटिंग भी कर रहे हो ना, मार्केटिंग के अंदर भी फाइनेंस है.
marketing.
एंड ऑफ द डे आप कौन सा सेलिब्रिटी के साथ एंडोर्समेंट कर रहे हो, आपको पैसा देखना पहले. And trust me, most of the decisions at the end of the day are signed by the CFO. Even it's a marketing or a chief operating officer, the finance is definitely the backbone. So how does banking play into the entire world? You're sitting in NIBM, the girl of banking right now. As I said, like you're helping top banks in the company to grow, to channelize their policies.
So banks are an important channel where this money gets circulated basically. So money, there is a money multiplier concept also. So for effective utilization, if I can circulate it properly, its role gets amplified. And that's why the banks come into the picture. It's a safe custody of the people's deposit, and because they draw the deposits and then channelize those funds and distribute optimally. So that's why banks, they help the entities to plan their business properly and make and utilize the fund properly. And if one can aspire that I will develop an infrastructure, but it is a long gestation period.
Yeah.
So who will finance them? Either through own fund or through equity. But if it is a long-term finance, those aspirations cannot be made because you have to plan now. Another 20 years or 15 years.
Solar plant डालना है तो आपको.
So who will fund them? There the banks come into the picture.
True.
And this maturity mismatch, they eliminate that maturity mismatch because depositors are coming and these are long-term finance. So banks come in between because they have the banking through their experience. Many banks are for more than 100 years. And even if those are 20 years old also, they have enough sense of business. So they have a very good underwriting skill. And through that underwriting skill, they can sense that where this fund and what.
Sorry, what is underwriting for the
underwriting means when I am sanctioning a loan, there are certain checklists and there are certain checklists is there. So what will be the value of the project? What are the factors? How will be the finance? So who are eligible, who are not? So all these things are underwriting, and they are giving the guarantee that okay, this project is once bank approved, like a housing loan. If it is approved by a bank, then we know that everybody will be the person who is buying house also will know that this is.
Great.
So it is like that. Their banks come. If somebody is when they join industry, they may aspire for that. I will buy a flat or buy a car. So their banks channelize those funds.
Got it.
So otherwise, own finance may not be enough, or otherwise someone has to borrow. That may be very risky and volatile. So their banks are the safest custody, as I've said. So they one of the most strongest financial arm for the people, for the companies, for the entrepreneurs. So one can materialize the dream.
MBA करेंगे उसके लोन भी बैंक ही देंगे. तो इधर हमने क्या समझा कि फाइनेंस इम्पोर्टेंट है बिकॉज़ पैसा इम्पोर्टेंट, पैसा इज बैकबोन ऑफ एनीथिंग और पैसा कहाँ जाएगा? बैंक है. लॉन्ग जेस्टेशन पीरियड के प्रोजेक्ट्स है, उसके लिए आपको पैसा चाहिए तो आप पर्सनल लोन से नहीं ले सकते. और पर्सनल से फाइनेंस लेंगे भी तो
very high.
It'll be very.
What are the conditions they will give?
You will die. There was a concept used to be called as Bandhuwa Mazdoor.
So I will suggest if you are aspiring for even a very good course offered by a good reputed institutions, approach a bank. And finances are available.
True. Just so many.
And if the employment opportunity also will be created and one can repay the.
One can repay. Sir, ये भी question आता है इनको. Just help me make them understand. So we Indians are poor nation. Come what may, sir. We can call ourselves superpower, ये वो, but sir, we are a developing poor nation. That sir, you do.
Developing nation, you can say. We are aspire to be developed economy.
We aspire to poor नहीं. We had 35% GDP way back in around 500 years back. बोलते हैं ऐसा.
That golden time.
The golden time we have,
So all these infrastructures are getting created. The good academic institutions are getting created, so that the human capital formation takes place, and then maybe we will have that development.
5 trillion is the first step. Great. So, sir, why I'm saying we are a poor nation? Because, sir, nearly 80% of the students take loan in our country for paying for their MBA fees, whether they're joining IIM or SPJain Bombay or they're joining NIBM as well. So, loan तो लेते ही लेते हैं. Because कई बार तो खुद के पैसे होते भी हैं, पर इतने नहीं होते, right? They take some part of the loan as well. So, and they ask me, sir, how can I take loan? इतना बड़ा risk है यार. मेरी नौकरी नहीं लगी तो क्या होगा? 12 लाख, 15 लाख, 20 लाख. So, any advice for these kids?
I think that if you have cleared through your merit, if you have cleared a good course, then banks are very much approachable. So in that case, I will advise our public sector banks, they can approach any of the public State Bank of India, Canara Bank, and other leading banks, Bank of India and Indian Bank, all the mainly public sector bank, they should approach and they should.
वो सामने से approach करते हैं once you crack
through the organizations also. Because like our organization is considered as a premier institute by the banks, and they get instant approval.
कुछ घर भर गिरवी रखना पड़ेगा? Nothing is required.
Just the course reputation will help.
Just the admit card letter from a top business schools, NIBM is also under the premium category list. You get a loan and this.
They will definitely.
सुन लिया अभी तुम लोगों ने. Sir, आगे बढ़ते हैं sir. Sir, I'm keen on finance. I was keen on finance. I'm still keen on finance, but I was keen on studying financial management and FM as a course and later on. I did few selectives here and there. But first year when I was sitting in class, those Excel sheets and those maths heavy things screwed me up. And though I'm an engineer, but still, क्या लगता है सर आपको मैथ्स कितना जरूरी है पहले तो फाइनेंस लेने के लिए? और क्योंकि सर काफी लोगों का वो बबल बर्स्ट होता है once they're sitting in the class and they're like, holy shit, what's going on? What's your take on that? कितना मैथ जरूरी, कितने नंबर क्रंचिंग जरूरी?
Number crunching is required. Ultimately, these numbers help us to evaluate that whether the financial prospect from the financial angle, whether this project makes sense or not, whether this project will work or not, or whether this loan to be sanctioned or not. So that's why, due to digitalization, whatever you say. These new platforms are emerging where these account aggregator or these are helpful, but the students should know that what are the nitty-gritties of it, how these are being formed, and rather than looking for artificial intelligence has come or machine learning, but one has to have own senses that of the number. I may not be fully dependent on a calculator or maybe a computer or algorithms. But I have to, on my own, I need to compute. Right. So that's why this number concept, the concept of mathematics and financial mathematics, I would say, and statistics, one should have knowledge. And for that, it is essential that this basic mathematics or business mathematics course should be there in the curriculum. In our postgraduate program also, we keep orientation course because they come from different backgrounds. So those orientation courses help them, our professors will enter the class with them basic math, and we have also written books where students can get access. Like I have written a basic statistics in risk management for banks and financial institutions, which is published by Oxford University Press. That is helping my students also. Other management students also can take that help. And these orientation brings them, like someone is coming from engineering background, maybe math, maybe they have done calculus or basic mathematics or even statistics, but those who are coming from commerce or arts background also, they go through.
They can do that. It's going to be bridge course, you can do that.
Bridge course, then slowly we'll start actually in the term on many foundation principles, economic, the management economics, then some business stats, then a little bit on math applications, we start the course. Great. And later part we have a lot of electives, like I teach research methodology subjects. So in a very lucid manner, we show the research application so that they can gather some information, data, and through that data they relate those theory and apply with numbers. So that gives them that excitement. Great. And interest also gets created.
Alright sir, convinced. I am back into finance, I'm back into banking. मुझे मजा आ रहा है, मुझे लग रहा है कि ये फील्ड अच्छी है. But what's up, all said and done, when people go to IIMs or SPJain Bombay or come to NIBM and opt for a banking management course or do a finance management, आपके यहाँ पे सारे बैंक खड़े हुए, मैं देख रहा था placement report, you name a bank, Central Bank, IDBI, you name it. All banks are here hiring.
Banks are also, I mean, whoever.
The new banks also? Yeah. So the list of banks which are standing, and hiring people from NIBM right now. I was talking to students, 80% लोग तो place भी हो चुके हैं for the current batch. More than 80.
I say 90.
90% place हो चुके हैं. This is so cool. But sir, all said and done, rules क्या मिलते हैं banking करने के बाद और finance करने के बाद? Let's talk about banks first.
Yes. Banks first, if I say, there are many operations, mainly banking operations. Like there is a tremendous demand for those who have domain knowledge of banking. And here, since they have the sense of banking and all these subjects are taught, so they are well received by this bank. And mainly here the roles, one of the niche area is analytics, risk management.
Okay.
Because now there is a lot of requirements about risk management, because now the regulator is telling them the banks need to recalibrate their business model, because now the business model, the challenges, the landscape is changing because of this speed driven by the technology. So their risk management will play very, very important, because I have to, if I have to take a quick decision, I have to due diligence, I have to follow due diligence in lending. So their risk management role. Then when I am doing business, I should be aware of my these regulations. So regulations, then compliance. So there are CRO positions. Our students are joining as CRO.
CRO is?
Chief Risk Officer.
Okay.
Like Chief Financial Officer.
Okay.
So after gaining some experience, they are joining. The alumni, there are many alumni are now holding CRO position, Chief Risk Officers. CVO position, Chief Valuation Officer or Compliance Officer.
Oh, nice.
So that is happening. So compliance, audit, because when I am doing whether all the process I have followed properly, there should be audit. So that audit, regulation, as I've said, risk management, analytics, Basel regulation. Basel is also Basel standard has been implemented, so that all banks are compatible with the global banks. So these regulations are becoming important. Back office marketing is also a lot of roles are there, because banks will have to establish this is customer centricity is there now.
True.
So customer satisfaction is very, very big.
So if I have to imagine banking as a pipeline, which is like funding India right now,
products,
with bunch of products, तो मतलब हर जगह पे job है. Starting from lending to a bank का front end job,
deposit products, wealth management.
Wealth management. तुम्हारे पास पैसा 1 लाख रुपए उसको manage करने के लिए wealth manager का job है, वो भी एक job है.
Mutual fund.
Mutual fund.
For fee-based income now.
Yeah,
Mutual funds are there. There are even banks, they invest in, there are the treasury operations are there. So what kind of bonds they will purchase, what kind of derivative products or forward product contracts are there, foreign exchange products. So they require back office people also who will analyze and tell them that you can take these positions.
Got it.
So there is a wealth management, at the same time back office support.
And do you touch on iBanking and investment banking for touch base with it?
Investment banking also.
We teach for sure, right? We teach for sure. Great. Sir, last thing, all said and done, समझ गया मैं पैसा जरूरी है, and then banking.
Now NBFCs are emerging, non-bank finance. They are becoming like a bank.
True.
So top layer NBFC. So their portfolio will manage. So our students will
go in there. Superb, sir. Superb. Great. Sir, all said and done, I'm really enjoying this podcast. I keep on doing it. But sir, we have to come to an end. What's your parting thoughts for the young would-be bankers? My dad was a banker, 37 years in the same bank. But what's your take, sir? ये 20-22 साल के, and they're planning to join one of the top business schools, maybe NIBM or my school, SPJain Bombay or IIM Ahmedabad. क्या बोलना चाहेंगे इनको, sir?
So my suggestion will be definitely these young professionals, they are more aware about what are the things are happening in the banking landscape, and they are very, very well informed. So when you gain this knowledge and this after passing this course, I'll suggest that when you have to do a lot of research about the companies where you are joining, or those who are taking your interviews. So that is the expectation from the industry, because if I am serious about joining those companies, I should do a thorough research that what are the products they are offering. And on the other hand also, from your side also, you have to do a research, so that if this company, what are the products and what are the what type of business they are doing. So this is a win-win situation for both.
True.
And I will suggest that initial years be very positive and willing to learn, willing to give your best. Whatever you have learned and whatever the operations you are managing, utilize that time, initial 2-3 years, you stay with the organization, and because that is all that gives sense of other companies that about your stability.
True.
So your knowledge is there, your expertise is there, but they will take that as an option and a good opportunity to utilize and learn business, how the business is functioning. Then you will be able to relate your knowledge, your career better, and that stability will take that as a foundation basically of starting a very good career. And after that, the future will be.
This is so amazing, boys and girls. With this, future will be yours. So, signing off from NIBM Pune. Dean sir हमारे साथ बैठे. It was lovely interacting with you. Thank you so much for coming on board. Boys and girls, drop in a comment section. What do you guys think about the banking industry? What do you guys think about the banking stock? क्या तुम्हारे दिमाग में चल रहा है? क्या ये आगे भी फ्यूचर सेम ग्रोथ होने वाली है इंडियन बैंक्स की, या कोई तुम में से NIBM का इंटरव्यू देने वाला है, या दे चुका है, या जिसकी डेट आ चुकी है, या कंफ्यूज्ड हो ज्वाइन करना है कि नहीं करना है, कमेंट करके बताइएगा. आई विल आंसर टू ऑल योर कमेंट्स. थैंक यू सो मच एंड डू इट ऑन लाइक बटन. अबे लाइक इधर इधर, डू इट लाइक. टेक केयर, बाय बाय.